No one remembers the man who baked bread for the doomed ship, but when the world turned to ice, he was the last warmth that remained. The Titanic sailed like a floating city, white decks gleaming under the April sky of 1912. Inside her belly, where the smell of yeast and coal mixed into a strange kind of life, there worked a man named Charles Joughin, chief baker, 43 years old, a quiet man from Birkenhead. He wasn't an officer, not one of the grand passengers who dined beneath chandeliers. He worked below decks where the heat from the ovens never stopped and flour dust floated like snow. His job was simple: to feed those who would later be remembered as legends. On the night of April 14th, Charles had gone to bed late, his hands still smelling of dough and rum. Then came the jolt, a sound like the tearing of metal, followed by a silence that felt louder than any scream. He went on deck to see officers lowering the boats. Orders were shouted, panicked, feet thundered across the planks. He returned below, not to save himself, but to feed others. He and his men dragged loaves of bread from the kitchen and filled the lifeboats with them, food for the living, he said. When his duty was done, he poured himself a drink, and then another, rum thick, burning, numbing. A baker's courage in a bottle. When the stern of the Titanic began to lift, Charles stayed near the rail. He watched men pray, women cry, the sea creeping up the decks like a black mirror swallowing the stars. And yet, he felt calm. He held onto the railing as the ship rose higher, until it stood nearly vertical against the sky. Others slipped. Others screamed. Charles simply waited until the water reached his boots. And then he stepped off. Not jumped, not fell. Stepped. The freezing Atlantic bit through him like knives. He kicked, floating among chairs, timber, and faces turned skyward. He didn't feel the cold, not yet. Maybe the rum helped. Maybe it was shock. He watched as the great ship broke apart, her lights flickering once, twice, and gone. Around him, the cries filled the night, hundreds of voices fading into silence. He clung to an overturned lifeboat, his fingers stiff as iron, his breath misting like smoke. Hours passed. He saw the faint orange glow of dawn, and then a shape Carpathia's lifeboats cutting through the waves. They pulled him aboard, half frozen, half drunk, half miracle. In the records, it says he survived nearly 2 hours in water below freezing. Doctors said it was impossible. Sailors called it luck. But maybe it was simply the will of a man who had baked for others all his life and refused to let the fire inside him go out. No one built statues for Charles Joughin. No songs bear his name. But that night, as the Titanic slipped beneath the waves, he stayed behind to feed the living and met death with the calmness of a man who'd faced heat all his life. History remembers captains and millionaires, but maybe it's the baker, the man with flour on his hands and courage in his heart who truly fed the soul of the Titanic. What do you think? Doesn't he deserve to be remembered among the heroes of the sea?